In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, one of the biggest challenges we face is self-control. We live in an age where pleasure is only a click away, and many people unknowingly fall into habits that slowly drain their motivation, discipline, and drive for success. One such habit is excessive masturbation, a topic often avoided, but one that has profound effects on personal growth, mental clarity, and long-term success. But what if I told you that this isn't just about biology or personal choices? What if ancient wisdom, particularly from Stoic philosophy, could reveal a deeper truth about how self-indulgence sabotages our future? The Stoics, great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believed that true power comes from mastering the self. They taught that success is not just about external achievements, but about inner strength, control over desires, and the ability to direct one's energy toward meaningful pursuits. In this discussion, we will uncover how masturbation, when left unchecked, can erode the very foundation of success by weakening discipline, reducing mental resilience, and distancing us from our higher purpose. This isn't about shame or guilt. It's about awareness, self-mastery, and reclaiming control over your life. Whether you struggle with this habit yourself or are simply curious about its effects, this deep dive will challenge you to think differently and empower you with Stoic strategies to rise above fleeting pleasures and unlock your full potential. Let's begin. 1. Historical perspectives, Stoic philosophy, and the quest for self-control. Throughout history, many cultures have wrestled with the concept of self-pleasure, often linking it to notions of moral weakness or a loss of personal energy. In ancient societies, sexual behaviors were shrouded in taboo, and practices such as masturbation were frequently condemned or seen as detrimental to one's physical and mental vitality. Fast forward to modern times, and while our scientific understanding has evolved, the debate over the impact of self-indulgence on success still lingers. However, one framework that provides a profound counterpoint is Stoic philosophy, which places immense value on self-control, virtue, and the mastery of one's desires. The Stoics believe that our internal state, the quality of our character, and our ability to govern our impulses is far more critical than external circumstances. For a Stoic, the practice of self-discipline was paramount, not as a denial of natural impulses, but as a means to channel one's energy toward constructive and purposeful endeavors. When examining the act of masturbation through this perspective, one can argue that excessive indulgence might detract from the Stoic ideal of rational self-governance. The Stoics teach that true power comes from mastering the mind, which in turn can control bodily impulses. Thus, if self-gratification becomes habitual to the point of distraction, it may erode the mental fortitude necessary to pursue personal excellence and achieve long-term success. By reflecting on historical teachings and Stoic principles, we understand that the issue isn't masturbation per se, but rather the loss of control over it. This loss of control could manifest as wasted energy, reduced focus, and a drift away from the disciplined practices that Stoicism espouses. For instance, Marcus Aurelius and Seneca often stress the importance of aligning one's actions with reason, suggesting that every moment spent in unbridled indulgence is a moment lost for reflection, self-improvement, and contributing meaningfully to society. The key is not in total abstinence, but in exercising measured restraint so that natural impulses do not override reason. In this chapter, we set the stage for a deeper exploration of how unchecked behaviors can sabotage success, especially when they conflict with the Stoic pursuit of inner peace and unwavering discipline. 2. Psychological impacts, emotional resilience, and the Stoic mindset. Transitioning into the psychological realm, it's essential to examine how frequent indulgence in masturbation might affect our mental clarity, emotional resilience, and overall state of mind from a Stoic viewpoint. The Stoics valued the cultivation of a resilient and rational mind, a mind that could remain unmoved by the fleeting pleasures and pains of the world. They maintained that our thoughts and actions should be governed by reason rather than by impulses, and any habit that undermines this equilibrium can be seen as counterproductive. When the brain repeatedly experiences the surge of dopamine associated with self-pleasure, some argue that it can lead to a desensitization of the reward system. Over time, this could make it harder for an individual to derive satisfaction from activities that contribute to personal growth, such as learning, working toward a goal, or engaging in meaningful social interactions. From a Stoic perspective, such a shift may compromise one's ability to maintain emotional equilibrium. Instead of using one's mental faculties to navigate challenges with calmness and clarity, a person might find themselves chasing transient pleasures, thereby weakening their capacity to endure discomfort or delay gratification. Furthermore, habitual overindulgence may lead to a cycle where the immediate gratification of masturbation replaces deeper, more meaningful sources of pleasure, such as intellectual pursuits, physical exercise, or genuine human connection. The Stoics champion the idea of apatheia, a state in which one is not overwhelmed by passions but remains composed and rational regardless of external circumstances. When the balance tips in favor of constant self-indulgence, the mind may become clouded, making it more difficult to practice mindfulness, self-reflection, or even the daily meditation that many Stoics recommended as a pathway to inner strength. It's not merely a matter of temporary distraction. The psychological cost might be a subtle erosion of one's willpower over time. The Stoic ideal is to view every decision through the lens of virtue and long-term benefit. If self-gratification begins to override this critical evaluative process, it may sabotage one's future success by dulling the drive for personal excellence. This chapter invites viewers to consider how the choices they make in moments of weakness might compound into larger challenges in achieving mental clarity, resilience, and ultimately, the kind of inner peace that is the foundation of a successful and fulfilled life. Chapter 3. Physical effects, energy dynamics, and Stoic discipline. In this chapter, we turn our attention to the physical dimension of the debate, analyzing how frequent masturbation might impact one's physical energy and vitality, and how these effects intersect with the Stoic commitment to disciplined living. The Stoics were keen observers of the human body and mind, advocating for a harmonious balance between physical well-being and mental acuity. They believed that the body is the vessel through which we pursue virtue and excellence, and thus maintaining its strength and resilience is integral to the overall pursuit of a good life. Many proponents of Stoicism argue that excessive indulgence in any pleasure can lead to a depletion of vital energy, a resource that Stoics regard as essential for living a purposeful life. The physical act of masturbation, when practiced without moderation, is thought by some to temporarily drain energy reserves, potentially leading to feelings of lethargy and diminished physical stamina. For those who subscribe to the Stoic view, every act should contribute to the cultivation of inner strength and discipline. When physical energy is squandered on fleeting pleasures, the individual may find it challenging to engage fully in more demanding pursuits, whether that's a rigorous exercise routine, focused work, or the disciplined study required for personal growth. Moreover, the Stoic concept of oikeiosis, the natural process of developing self-care and responsibility for one's own well-being, urges us to take proactive measures to care for our bodies. This includes recognizing when a behavior, such as compulsive masturbation, begins to interfere with our ability to maintain physical health and stamina. The Stoics taught that while the body is merely a tool for the mind, its condition can significantly influence our capacity to act with clarity and purpose. When our physical state falters, so too can our mental and emotional fortitude, undermining our ability to meet the challenges of everyday life. The dialogue between physical energy and self-control is central to Stoic thought. They advise that the cultivation of physical discipline, through practices like exercise, moderation in all things, and mindful living, is a critical aspect of achieving a harmonious existence. When self-indulgence in any form detracts from these practices, it can sabotage our future success by diverting energy away from the disciplined actions that build long-term strength. This chapter encourages viewers to consider how balancing physical vitality with the pursuit of mental and emotional discipline is key to living a Stoic life, one in which every decision is made with a clear vision of contributing to enduring success. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive through the powerful lens of Stoicism. We've explored historical context, psychological impacts, physical energy, social dynamics, and practical strategies, all anchored in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. If you found these insights valuable and thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more in-depth discussions and practical advice on living a disciplined, fulfilling life. Your support is essential, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.